Okay, so in the instructions they're showing you to then put another plank on. And the one we just fitted all the way to the stern. But I like to do plank things a little bit different. I like to just kind of, it's my own way, my own technique. So you kind of follow your own technique. So what I tend to do first is I will then put another plank just above the one we fitted in exactly the same way. And once you've got your first one in, it's a lot easier. So I'm pretty much going to do the exact same procedure, but this time I'm actually going to paint all the tops of glue as well. So what I'm going to do now is, now it's all been glued, I'm just going to offset it by one rib. The same again, get that 45-degree angle flush right at the edge of that rib. And then with these ones, now it's a lot easier because you've already got that first plank in. So get yourself some of these little clamps. I've took the jaws off. I'm just going to put them out and squeeze them together. And pretty much same again. And then just keep moving your clamps along. And then just continue to pin these all the way to the bow. Okay, so what I've done is added one more plank just directly below the one I fit a second ago. So now we've got a running planks of 3. So now we can kind of then start to work his way towards the stern. So same again, I've got another plank and I've put a 45-degree angle. And this is why I like to plank it this way. Is now we're going to kind of feed that plank in between them two. These are already making it quite nice, and we can push it forward and it drops in and it just naturally finds its own way, and it's being pinched by the 45-degree from the other one. So then all we need to do is glue and pin it exactly like we did the first plank. But we can glue all this section up now because it's all going to get joined now. Put a little bit of glue on that 45. That's an absolutely, nobody's ever tried this before, just give it a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed with just how well they join. Rather, you don't even have to pin them, rather than the traditional just butt up joints. Okay, so that's kind of been held by them, so that knows that's kind of coming out straight. So all we can do then is just, same again, just find that bottom of that rib before it starts to curl, and then we can just pin it. That's being pinched. Like I say, when we add the next 45-degree angles in there, just going to join in like that on the other ones. So they're still unpinned, but they have been glued to this one now. So then all we do is just move along, let it find its stop. This is pretty much the most important plank you add, the first one, because every one after that then works off it. So if you don't get this one right, it's very difficult to get all the rest right. Then once you put 3 in, same again, just look like you're down your line. See how it's finding its own natural stop, and then just keep pinning it until you get all the way to the stern. Okay, so once you put that plank on, all you need to do then is just add 1 above it, then 1 below it, and then 2 more below it until we've fitted 5 planks, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're repeating the planks all the way down for the next 4, and then I fitted this one that goes all the way to the bow for the next one. So I'll say on plank number 5 we do stop a little bit short this time, so same again, just taking one of the 45-degree angles, just push it in. I say sometimes it's quite handy just to nail on a little temporary support that kind of holds it in place. And then what we need to do on this one is we need to stop 7 ribs from the stern. So I've made a little indication mark, and all you need to do is cut that. If you're obviously building it where you're just using butt planks, you'd cut it down the middle of the right down the middle of the rib, but because I'm adding that 45 degrees, I'm actually going to cut it right on the edge of the rib and then put the 45 degrees on. So that just gets fed into there, and then that now stops 7 ribs short, and all we do is just glue and pin that in like we have done the rest. Okay, so now we're going to add the 6th plank towards the stern, and they're fitting exactly the same way, but now where that plank fitted that was stopped short 7 ribs before, and this one now below it now overhangs, and this then tapers all the way up to the 4th plank. So then a bit later on we're going to fit a steel plank. So all we've got to do, same again, is apply some glue under the ribs. Okay, so we're going to kind of pinch it so it kind of just naturally touches the corner of that 4th plank, and then we're just going to push it down, and we're going to pin it just there. Put it under there, just stop it from moving around. So then all we do is just kind of go over the other ones and pin them in, but we're pinning it right on the edge first. We're not kind of making it take any unnatural, like I say, is if we're pushing it up like that, it's unnatural. That's a natural curve towards the stern. And let's say them again, just go over and have some more pins. Okay, so now we're working on the 8th plank, and this one stops a little bit short of the bow. So we pretty much started from the middle, from the 12th rib like we have done when we first started. Put this first one on, and then this one goes all the way and stops short of the 4th rib. It's there, so same again, because I'm putting on my 45-degree angles. I'm actually going to make a mark right on the far end of the rib, and then I'll cut it at 45. That's just cut short to there. Okay, because we just tapering, starting to taper around this curve, what we need to do on these planks now is just kind of just put a little bevel on the one. So when we bring them together, you can start to see that there is a slight gap. And that's because, like say, as you go around the corner, the planks are like hitting each other like that, so that leaves the gap on the top. So like I say, all we need to do now is just slightly, using the sandpaper, slightly angle it towards or away from yourself, really, around about 5 degrees, and then just put a bevel onto it. And then when we bring them back, the gap should almost be closed. Like I say, just work backwards and forwards until you're happy, and then like we did previously, just glue up all the ribs. So let's drop him on. Let's say make sure that it's like half of the 45 is on the middle of the rib. Just drop my little pins inside these magnetic little holders. These are brilliant because it means that you don't knock and send your pins flying. I'll put a link in the description where you can pick one of these up if you want. And then same again, just using a tack hammer and just tack them down. So when I'm starting to kind of go around the curve, what I'll tend to do is put the pins in more of an angle, so then when we nail them home, it kind of forces the two planks up on each other. And same again, we're going to just bend this one and pin it in place. Just need to brush glue all the way along these keel reinforcement blocks. And like we did before, all we really want is that plank just a touch nice on the edge of the other one, and we should just get a nice equal slot that we've got to fill in later. Because we've got all this material, we can put a pin in and don't have to worry about not being able to get the 45-degree angle in. And then just put a pin in every one of the ribs, and just be mindful that you don't kind of squeeze that gap closed. It just pretty much just stays as it is. Okay, so now we're going to add the next plank down. I'm going to start straight away on the 12th rib with the 45, but this time we're going to go all the way to the bow, but still have like a little steel plank where we fit in. Let's take a little bit off that. I've got a plank cutter, but I find these quite useful just for basic cuts without being too accurate. And the same again, just going to put this taper on the plank. Okay, so it's nailed in the first section. Then we're just, like I say, we're just going to bend this one in and follow the line with the ones fitted before. Like I said, just using your thumb to make sure you push that plank up nice and butt and the one above it. And that's it again, you put your nails in slightly angled, still putting the pressure on. You get a nice tight plank. Okay, so for the next one, all we kind of want to do is the same as that. Wants to be butt with that 6th plank, and hopefully it's not going to take it too far out of its natural shape. No, it looks okay. So I'm just going to put a pin right on the front rib first. It's a little bit of a twist on this one, so we're going to get some more glue on this one before we pin it down. Plenty on. Like we did before, just chop off the end. Okay, so once you've done 9 planks, that's how we should be looking. The 2 planks was fitted a second ago, and just added a couple more planks to the stern, so it was just a case on the 8th plank. Once another plank for the tapered part, and then we stop on the 9th plank. Same again to add some more tapered parts. Okay, so I'll break off from the planking and instructions, and now we go on to fitting this cast bow section, but we'll do that in the next video.